Hello and welcome back to your mat. I'm Hannah, I'm your guide today, and we have a sleeping phoenix in the background. So today's practice is all about relieving headaches. This is not a one size fits all. We all get different types of headaches, and they can come across in different ways in our body. If you're a migraine sufferer like myself, some days just keeping your head upright or even lying down can be too much, depending on that particular day. So you might test out or try what I have on offer today and just see whether that might be relieving for you. There will be poses mostly lying down. We're going to be grabbing a towel or a blanket and 2 myofascia balls. You could use tennis balls instead. So let's go ahead and just fold our towel into a sort of pillow shape. I've already sorted out that my towel has just one sort of flap at the top edge there. At some point, we'll be placing the balls underneath that. So you might want to just pause, set up your blanket, and have that sort of final piece just on top like that. Final fold on top. For now, that's just going to be used as a pillow. We're going to start lying flat on our back and grabbing both balls. We'll be placing them on the earth and trying to find a place just sort of underneath the shoulder blades. Don't be too finicky about this. You find a sweet spot that works for you in the upper thoracic, the upper middle back of the body. I'm working with both balls quite centered along the length of the spine. If you prefer to just work one side at a time, that's also fine. Just mind that you will at some point need to swap it and move it to the other side. I'll try to remind us when we're about halfway into that first pose. So don't overthink the shape of your legs. That'll be something that just kind of works for you once you're lying down. It might take a few moments to find the right positioning as you begin to lay straight onto the balls. And you might do a little sort of wiggle around to find that sweet spot that you are enjoying. And it might be that you notice one side feeling more intense than the other, so it could be that you just want to work one side. I find being propped evenly through 2 feeling good for me today, so I'll stick with both of them. So upper, middle back, the thoracic area is where we're positioning those 2 balls. And then choosing how you might like to position the legs. It could be soles of feet to the earth, knees straight up, maybe knees TP'd. Maybe the legs long and straight, relaxed. Or perhaps one final offering of an option could be soles of feet together, the knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then I'm just going to choose a mini sort of Shavasana style with those arms, turning the palms up. Again, just choosing a position of the arms that works for you in this moment. I'll be offering some different shapes of arms in a little while. So this may already feel too intense. One more little option for those of you who are still trying to find a position of comfort could be to place your blanket or another towel over the top of those balls, so you create a little more cushioning to it. And the idea is that we're going to hang out here for a little bit of time to attempt to see if those muscles can begin to melt in the spine, the shoulders, and scapula, and And it might be that initially all of the muscles in your back start to clench, but over time, with a little gentle awareness, and maybe a little gentle whisper to those muscles to soften, they begin to ease. You might need to bring a focus to the breath from time to time. Just noticing whether the breath has become shallow, whether you can keep things steady or even graceful through your breath. Those of you who have worked one side, you might want to move the ball to the second side. And those of us who have both balls in position, you might like to try a different arm shape. First offering is really gently crossing the arms over your chest. Just a draping of the arms across your heart space. This might add a favorable sensation or not, so backing away if that's not feeling comfortable for you. Maybe playing around with deeper breaths if that is feeling opening and comforting to you. Another option through the arms you might like to play with is raising the arms up and overhead. I've just loosely taken hold of my wrists or inner arms. If any of these options are feeling too intense, please do back away. Depending on how we're feeling before we practice, this may not be appropriate for you today. But you might try it on another day, and it might feel much more obtainable or relieving. Last couple of breaths here. And then when we are thinking about coming up, we want to do so delicately, slowly. So if you feel like rolling to the side feels the right way to go, do that. Maybe it's rolling and lifting up. I'm just going to pause for a moment on side body, feeling into that release of pressure in the back body. And then I'll just move those props out of the way and lie on my back. And again, feel into that space that may have been created. Again, whatever shape works through legs, arms, just a moment of rebound. So we'll just roll to the side. We're going to set the ball in a different position now. Lift yourself up. And we're going to be working into the temporalis muscle, which you'll find just above the temple. So if we just bring our fingers roughly into the temple and just walk them slightly higher and then clench through the jaw, you'll feel quite a distinct feeling of a muscle that's just beneath the surface there. We're going to be placing a little bit of pressure into that part of the body by grabbing one of our balls and just placing it underneath that fold of the towel. So this is just adding a little extra padding. We'll be laying on our side and placing the ball as a pressure point into the temporalis. So just slowly leaning your way down onto your side. Whatever works through legs and arms. If you've got something you want to bring between the knees, you can do that. And it might be that you do clench the jaw just again a moment or two, just to feel into that muscle. And we're going to hold here for a good minute. Make sure that you do feel comfortable through the side body. Maybe you've closed down your eyes. And just see if you can notice that your whole face begins to soften. See if you can begin to soften through the eyebrows, the forehead. Soften through your eyes. And if possible, soften through the jaw. You might part the teeth here and just let your jaw relax. And you might be very comfortable just to stay like this, or you might like to add just a little self-massage along the jawline. So just bringing your fingertips just sort of roughly at the base of the ear and just starting to find the very sort of back edge of your jaw, right back behind the ear. And we're just sort of using fingertips here, and you're in control of the pressure. So it might be a few little circular motions here, maybe little gentle sort of walking sensations through the fingertips. And then maybe you're walking or sweeping the fingers along the jawline. A reminder to really try and relax through all those muscles. Sometimes we don't even know it, but we are clenching our teeth through stressful events. Sometimes we're even clenching our teeth whilst we sleep. There's no escape. So just reminding those muscles to go ahead and chill out. Just walking back and forth or doing little circular motions along the length of the jaw through the upper side of the face. The teeth are parted. And see if you can, from time to time, remind yourself to breathe with ease and soften through the eyes. And then when you feel ready, you'll either pause somehow on your back or you'll just flip and swap to the second side. So just aligning yourself, trying to find that muscle just above the temple. So there might be a little clench of the teeth just to initially find it. Use your pressure point, head relaxing down onto the ball beneath the blanket. Try to feel supported and comfortable through the body. So if you want any pillows between the legs or something underneath the hips, do go ahead and cushion yourself as you need. If you're enjoying working with fingertips along the jaw, just go ahead and first find the very tip, sort of back edge of the jaw behind the ear, and just maybe doing a couple of circles with the fingertips. Remind yourself to let the teeth part. And then again, you might be walking those fingertips along the length of your jaw. Constant reminder to soften through those muscles. And you're in control in terms of the pressure and the weight. And then again, last few breaths here on this second side. And then we want to grab that second ball and position that also next to the first one. So when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself up. And they're going to be positioned right next to each other. This time we're aiming for the occiput, the area right at the base of the skull. And we're going to see if we can balance the base of the skull onto both those balls. So sometimes I do this just with the edge of a block. Sometimes I'll do it without the padding. But again, depending on how sensitive we're feeling, this can be a great way to just take some of those sensitivities away. So you're aligning yourself centered on top of those balls. And again, finding that sweet spot. So because of the blanket and the towel, it takes away some of the deeper sensations. But that might be just what you need today. Choosing whatever shape legs feels good. You could have a bolster beneath the knees at this point. Maybe you have the arms wide. Perhaps you've even snuggled a blanket over the top of you and you feel comfortable to stay here for some time. We'll stay together for the next minute, but feel free to pause the video and stay as long as you need. Once again, bringing attention towards your face and the expression upon your face, seeing if you can become as neutral as possible. Letting the eyebrows melt away from the forehead. Letting the eyebrows melt away from one another. If it is at all possible, are you able to bring a sense of a smile into your eyes? This idea can create a sense of release, a sense of openness, an overall sense of well-being. Notice if the teeth are clenched once again, and part the teeth. Allow the tongue to lift to the roof of your mouth. And again, bringing now a sense of a smile towards your lips. Feel free to stay as you are. Or it might be time for you to once again roll to the side. Perhaps you pause there. Feeling into the release of sensation. And then lift yourself upright to meet me. Thank you once again for joining in today's movement practice. As I mentioned at the beginning, it is not necessarily one size fits all. It's like a little tasting menu of things that might work and feel good for you. Bringing palms together, a light gentle touch of thumbs to forehead, and an acknowledging bow towards one another. A bow to you. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Not only will this keep you up to date with my offerings, but will keep content like Tula Being free and accessible to all.